Yo, what is up, 5-9 gamers? Welcome back once again. It is a Saturday evening for me, afternoon for you, who knows? But that means it is time for the Dokkan Battle podcast once again. So we are coming to you live over here with episode 46. Put some pep in your step. And so as always, I am not alone. Joining me this week for the episode, we have the free-to-play king himself, Mr. Jphanta.
Hello.
We have the OST connoisseur, everybody's favorite man right now, Minato.
Hello.
Yeah, and we have our boy Kensei is here as well. How's it going, my dude?
How's it going, guys? I'm doing pretty well.
Okay, well, as you can tell from the title, one of the starting topics for this week's episode is going to be the huge update to the Peppy Gals category. Got a couple of new units as well as a bunch of easy A's. So starting out, we have the two new units that released on the double rates banner. We have the Universe 11 Angel Margarita, I guess. I don't know how you're supposed to actually say her name, but obviously that's the beverage that she's based on. And then we have the Kawaii as well. I can't remember if we ever actually... Do we know what number universe she's from? But... I mean, I don't know, but two new Peppy Gals units. So, Universe 11 Angel Margarita. What do we think about her? So, JP player Minato, did you summon on this double rates banner?
No, I decided not to because they're gonna be unfeatured, and we might talk about a little, but I don't recommend summoning in the banner. When it comes to Margarita herself as a unit, I saw some gameplay videos of her. I looked at her, kit itself. She seems basically just like a better Vados, kind of suited a little to the Universe 11 team. Although she could be good very much in the correct situations and like a full Angel Beers kind of team. She'll be pretty nice there as well. I don't think she's necessarily that good, worth enough to summon for.
I mean, yeah, she definitely seems interesting to me. Kensei, what are your thoughts on Margarita over here?
I seen gameplay of her. She's pretty much like a combination of Whis and Vados together. She's looking pretty good. She's there to pretty much buff Jiren. That's her pretty much her gameplay. It's just to buff Jiren, be another unit for the Universe 11 category. She's pretty good. I think Kawaii is a bit better, me personally, because she has like those little random chances to do like medium chance to dodge, do another super attack and critical hit and all that kind of stuff. So like, I do think Margarita, she's pretty good, but I don't think she's worth summoning for. Unless if you're a big fan of like the Universe 11 team.
Yeah, because I mean, it is a double rates banner, but I mean, yeah, with the fact that we still have the Dokkan Fest out for arguably the best TUR in the game, and the fact that the worldwide celebration is right around the corner, probably not the best idea to be summoning on this banner. But Kawaii herself definitely seems super interesting. At first glance, she kind of reminds me a lot of the physical launch, just because she does so many things. So she's got very solid stats. She can stun. She can get additional ki, she can get an additional super attack, she can dodge, like a whole bunch of different things. Obviously, Jay, I'm sure you didn't summon for her, but what are your thoughts on this Kawaii unit?
That's where you're mistaken, sir. I did 3 single summons. 3.
Shocking. Not true.
Guess what? Because of those double rates, I got all 3 SSRs.
Wow, my world is crumbling. You summoned on this banner. I can't believe it.
Yeah, I can't believe it too. I pulled Margarita. That's...
Doesn't you bomb her?
Did you bomb her?
No, I have not. I just keep it in the collection for now.
Wow, not a true free-to-play player, man.
I was bored. And I hate when my coins are like an uneven number, or like not in the divisible by 5, so I have to round it up every single time to the nearest 10. That's all the time.
That's I used to be like that as well. I used to hate having an odd number of coins because I never really do singles anyway. So I used to not having like an odd number of coins, and of course every time we got one of those things like we've had with some banners recently where the first couple of steps have been discounted, so you end up with like an odd number. But now that they've brought in the trading units for coins and you trade them in for 3 coins each at a time, I feel like I just kind of have to give up now, because I'm going to either always be at an odd number of coins or I'm just going to be doing too many singles, which feels like a bad idea. So
I've given up too on that, honestly. Regarding Koi, actually, or I know some people call it Kawhi for some reason, but Koi. Yeah, I would actually say she's really good, especially if you get all those things like procs to get off of her passives. She becomes super effective, crits. She's pretty good. My issue with her really is that she's on 2 teams, so she's very limited. And it's very unfortunate because, for example, Universe Survival Saga, there's a lot of good options there. Peppy Gals, there's a lot of good options now with the recent EZA. I would say Margarita's probably the more better / consistent unit. Because especially if you don't get those procs up with Koi, I can't even say her name, whatever it is.
Kawaii.
Yeah. I would prefer Margarita's just straight up support, sealing, and lowering attack. I think she has better links, more teams, but they're both definitely good units. And if you really want to summon for them, I mean, sure, it's your stones. But first off, not only do we have Super Vegeta, like Ningen said, the worldwide celebration is not too far away.
You know, the thing that I'm constantly, because I know you just did it as well, I keep doing it all the time. I've probably already done it on this episode, but it's going to be really difficult now for me after the last year of saying worldwide celebration. Now that we know that it's going to be the 350 million download celebration, I just keep saying worldwide celebration over and over again.
Yes.
So.
I should say 350 mil more. I have to get used to that mindset.
I know, exactly. I've got to try and change my, rewire my brain to not keep saying it wrong. But I mean, everybody knows what we mean, so it doesn't really matter. But
yeah, exactly.
So obviously the other big buff to the Peppy Gals category came in the form of the big multi-unit EZA. So they haven't done something like this for quite a while. It was a long time ago we got one with the 7 units that all awakened with the medals that you could buy from the Battlefield shop. And this one does have a very similar format. So you fight your way through. I think you fight each of the 5 characters for like 6 stages each. And the medals you get essentially just like a normal EZA. By beating the stages, you get the bronze, silver, gold, rainbow medals, but you just happen to get them for all of the units at the same time. So it's not like you can do the first few stages and then awaken one of the characters. You have to finish the whole thing to awaken all of them. So I know, Minato, you've been working on link leveling all of the Peppy Gals that just got their EZA. So how did you find the event overall?
I mean, if you have Vidal, the event's a joke. I would say that straight up. She just destroys the boss for sure. Like, you could tell the EZA is definitely... I feel like the EZA is almost balanced around you not having Vidal, even running a Vidal friend, because it's a very easy EZA battle. Specifically, the last phase is, tech. It's a tech Android 18 is the last fight you use. So there's definitely some good options that you could use there, like the Int Ribrian herself. Vidal could be super effective. Overall, just very simple. I got it done in like 20, 30-ish minutes at most. No sweat at all.
And Jay, have you attempted this one free to play?
Yep, completed, easy peasy.
Yep. I mean, to be fair, I guess Peppy Gals for one of the longest times, would you say, was one of those categories that definitely had received quite a lot of love on the free to play side.
Yeah, with the EZA maidens and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
It's really easy.
Okay.
Really decent team.
Yeah, exactly. Very strong. A lot of good options. So I guess we talked about them a little bit on a previous episode, like going through what they were going to do, because, we'd seen their kits on the paper and everything. But now that they have actually released, who do you think is the best one out of the 5?
I would have to say
Vidal.
You have to consider... you have to...
Vidal.
Okay, wait.
It's okay,
I
man.
want to hear
It's okay.
this. Go,
Is there a bit of bias
What do you
there
think,
coming
Vidal?
Jphanta?
Because it's just Videl.
I see. Okay, that's a very good point. But in all honesty, I feel like you have to consider them on the Peppy Girls team and then maybe not on the Peppy Girls team because a lot of them are based to be on the team. So if we're talking about just on the Peppy Girls team itself, I would say probably 18. Because she gets like 32% attacking defense per key sphere. She raises her attacking defense by 30% for 6 turns. That works really well together. Especially with her links. She has like Android Assault, which gives her like 20% defense on her links. Outside of that though, I would say overall, I like the physical Boma the most. She get dodge. Once she builds up her passive, she has like huge defense, solid-ish attack numbers, and she heals you a lot of HP, especially if you get lucky with Rainbow Orbs. So I would say I like the Boma the most overall as a unit. Second probably would be Pan though, like pretty close.
I would say Pan is the one that I like the most because she's in GT Heroes and also Goku's family. So like those like are like the 2 top tier like categories at the moment.
Hybrid Saiyans.
Well, that too as well. Hyper Saiyans. Well, I forgot about that. more Hyper Saiyans, but right, guys, Legends. All right.
Yeah.
It's like Pan seems like she's a better because she is getting more defense. You know, she's there. She has dodge as well into her passive. You know, like up to like 60% to dodge. That's actually really good. So she's gonna be more useful than I would say most of the Peppy gals, the easy A's. But I do think 18s is really good, like in the Peppy gals category because she just hits a lot of defense. She's like, I think I saw like 900k defense. I'm like, what is that defense? And I'm like, okay, so but yeah, I just like Pan overall, like the better one.
I would say my issue with Pan is that in long events, she's like in long events, most of the last phases nowadays cancel dodging, where Pan gets, at least she loses 120% defense in terms of giving that 60% dodge chance, which is definitely good to have, that 60% dodge chance. However, considering the fact that her passive is one that is based on time, in terms of like 7 turns, after that 7 turns, you probably would like the actual defensive stat more than the dodging, since the disabling of dodge. But that's really the only nitpick I have with her. She still has pretty good defense after that pass runs out.
So Jay, you were very quick to jump in and say Videl. Are you defend yourself, or are you picking her because you actually?
I literally don't know what any of them do.
You love to see it. Well, you'll be happy to know that. You'll be happy to know that Videl is actually pretty good. But I wanted to give a shout out to Agl Mai because we did the fan made card for her. She won the poll that we put up. I've always liked using her on the teams that you can for Super Battle Road because obviously she has a 70% chance to dodge. And whilst they obviously gave her a general increase to all the things that she does, pumped up each of her stats a little bit, I do also like the fact that they added in the fact that she can show you the enemy's super attack location when your HP is 50% or less, which is obviously something else that will be incredibly useful in Super Battle Road. So I kind of feel like now, if you haven't done any of the stages, or obviously for global, like the stages that will come out in the future, any team that you can run her on for that particular Super Battle Road stage, I feel like she's become like a very solid pick for those teams because of that utility. So I definitely think that she is a good one as well. So speaking of the Easy A's, it was not just the Peppy Gals that got the extra buff during this celebration. We got another one of the LR Easy A's. So Agl Majin Vegeta has his Easy A. It's been active for a while now, so I've already seen some of the videos of people taking him into different events and things like that. But before we get into his unit, we'll talk about his Easy A event as well. So being an LR Easy A, it's 10 stages instead of 30. Legendary power link being active is what you want in order to do the big damage, and then the actual specific category in terms of units who will be the best defensively was Super Saiyan 2. So I made a note here in my notes for this episode. I want to throw it over to our boy Jphanta. How was the free-to-play experience of this event? Please tell everyone your experiences with the LR Majin Vegeta Easy A event.
It was the greatest experience of all time.
Did you win?
No, I
you
got
like,
to
like level 1?
I finished level 3. I honestly struggled on level 1. It's just
what?
Super Saiyan 2 category being the defensive category is just lame because most of the good Super Saiyan 2s for free to play are not tech. So and most of them are STR, like the Barbershop Goku and like the Great Saiyan Man Super Saiyan 2. Yeah, so that was an issue. And then not only that, you know, when it comes to building a team, you have, if you want legendary power, you only have the Super Saiyan 2 Gohan if you want type advantage, which I couldn't even find any, to be honest. I don't know if anybody is running it now. But yeah, then you're kind of restricted in team building because he doesn't lead Super Saiyan 2s. And then you have to run Majin Vegeta, which he still did good damage at the beginning, but I don't know at the end, but... Yeah, it was very awkward, and then because Super Saiyan 2 Gohan's the only LR that is tech, you know, you would be linking him up with somebody else that could be type disadvantage or type neutral depending on your box. For me, I had nobody, so
Skill issue.
yeah, it's a free to play issue.
Yeah, it's, certain events definitely are going to be stacked against a full free-to-play box, I guess. But I have to say, I did very much enjoy the video. So, you know, making a bit of a joke here for Jay at his expense. But if you haven't seen the video over on his channel, do go check it out. It was...
Everyone loves the struggle.
Exactly. I like seeing how you get on
struggle
with these difficult events with a fully free-to-play team. And when I clicked on the video, I think it's like 20 minutes long or something. And after the first, like, 10 minutes, I think we were still on stage 1. So I was like, okay, boys, here we go. So it was a very good video. But so I'm assuming Minato probably didn't have quite the same issue with the events.
I would say it's kind of different from Jphanta's experience, that's for sure. Actually, the funny thing is that I don't have Tech Super Saiyan 2 Gohan myself, so I had to run the Int one. It was still not that bad. I would say it was probably the hardest, I would say, in terms of legendary Easy A's specifically.
Good.
I would say it's probably the hardest one because there's not too many like Tech Super Saiyan 2 units. There's like the one LR Tech Super Saiyan 2 Gohan, and he's basically like your only really biggest hard hitter. And if you don't have him, then you're kind of, it's a little weird. I feel like if you had him and you get lucky, maybe you'll do a lot better in terms of damage and finish off the fight easier. But I definitely think that, you know, you can get cut off guard with that Majin Vegeta. I feel like he hits pretty decently hard.
So yeah, it's something I'm looking forward to seeing when it comes to global. I don't know. Do you ever bother to go past the final stage?
I'm considering it just for fun and for Zenny because there's like so many easy A's. But I definitely think you can get at least like a good 20, 30 or something around there at least. Especially if you have the Tech Gohan, you could probably go a lot higher. But yeah, I definitely think that it's probably the harder or the hardest LR Easy A so far that we've had.
Yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to that. Let us know in the chat what what the highest stage you've gotten to on one of these Easy A's. Obviously, normal Easy A's are a lot easier than the LR ones, but
why would you waste your time on that when you could do the Peppy Girls and just get to like 50 easy?
Well, I think the big one is normally either the you got the AGL Broly one with like the full tech movie heroes team. I've seen people that are at stage like 400 or 500 on that one. I know the physical Kid Buu one now because the weakness is STR Pure Saiyans. So that's something that just keeps getting buffs. Yeah, like so that one's ridiculous. But in terms of the LR Easy A's, I found the Goku and Frieza one slightly easier than the Broly one. I think the Broly one I got to stage 35 and the Goku and Frieza one, before it went away, I almost got to stage 50. I think I was on stage 49. So be interesting to see how far we could get through this one, because I've talked about it quite a lot in the past. I'm a big fan of the Super Saiyan 2 category, so I'm definitely looking forward to this one. But in terms of the actual unit himself, so obviously now that he has his Easy A, the obvious question is going to be, how good is he? So we obviously joked about, before he came out, is he going to be closer to the Broly level, or is he going to be closer to the Int Gohan level? So in terms of where he's placed on that scale, what are we thinking for the Majin Vegeta EZA?
I think he's in the middle, like he's in between. Just because like his passive is like really limited to like certain characters, which is why people are saying that they want Battle of Gods for the 50 million download, because you know we don't have a Bulma card that we can. Well, we do have like Bulma cards that we can run with, but like
they're bad.
there's like the Super Saiyan 2 Vegeta and Bulma card that could work with that Vegeta. And we have a Kid Trunks. We have the physical one, EZA one, that could work with that Vegeta. And if that STR Super Saiyan 2 Vegeta and Bulma gets an EZA, that's definitely going to be like a really worthy rotation, just having physical Trunks and Bulma and that Vegeta together. He has everything active, which is really good. So his damage output, I think I saw like 5 million attack stat, 6 million attack stat without any support. That is like really ridiculous, because if I remember correctly, at Rainbow status he was doing like 4 million attack stat, probably like with all max level 10 links, 300 million attack stat. It's like this guy got a big massive buff. His defense, 150. That's actually really insane. He got 150 right off the bat, and then I'm surprised they buffed the attack to 180. I think that what solidifies him like really like hitting really hard. And also they changed a little bit in his attack effects, where I think like they raised attack for 1 turn for both 12 key and 18 key super, and they buffed up his stun effect, which now is to rare chance, and now it's into a medium chance for both effects on the SAs, which is really good. So for me personally, I think Majin Vegeta is like, I want to say top, like borderline top 5. It's just that the thing with him is that the restriction is what it is getting to me. I just wish that he didn't have that much friction. Otherwise, this guy would have been at least like top 5 for me.
I would say there's a lot of things that I can nitpick about this LR Majin Vegeta. I would say he's closer to LR Int Gohan than Broly. Not really a question for me. STR Broly just clearly is better than this guy, unfortunately. I think an issue with him is, again, like Kensei said himself, the Bulma, Trunks, and Goku restrictions. There's no really usable Bulma card right now. When the STR Super Saiyan 2 Vegeta and Bulma unit get an EZA, or maybe we get a new Bulma support type unit, these could change there. I only got that 20% damage reduction, which one of his issues for me is still a little bit defense. I feel like you could have had a little more defense, but we have no idea when those things are going to happen. Kid Trunks, you could definitely get that restriction pretty easily, but he's on a lot of teams where there's no Kid Trunks, like Final Trump card, All Out Struggle, Connected Hope. The Goku is going to be easy to get. One thing that I feel like you don't ever really necessarily see is that Key 12 and Guaranteed Crit when under 30%. That's a nice thing to have, but it kind of reminds me of like the Int LR Cell transformation, where you have to get lucky to get that part of his passive. And outside of that, he's really strong base wise. He does decent good attack stats. He has solid defense. I think one thing that could have really helped him to make him more consistently good without necessarily having to get those requirements of a Bulma, Trunks, or Goku active would be if he also raised defense for 1 turn on super attack. I feel like that would have helped him a lot. But outside of that, he's not really as consistent as I would like for him to be across all of his teams, and I feel like they could have definitely made him better defensively. He has a good link set. He's done on a lot of teams, so definitely help a lot of people for sure. I just feel like they could have made him better. I almost said they could have made him Broly, which is true, because they came out with Broly and then they kind of make these units, which are kind of wishy-washy in a sense, kind of weird. And the fact is, even if you do get all those, the Bulma, Trunks, and Goku on the team, then that makes it really hard for him to get a 17 key, if not just straight up impossible. So at that point, although you have all the, characters on the team that you would want to, he's not going to get that 17 key super, which you'll want most of the time anyways, which is unfortunate because that's what you want to aim for, rather than, the 18 key super attack. But if you just consider what's added to him, he's definitely very good now. I would say he's at least a top 20 unit in the game. I don't think I would say top 10 in the slightest, though.
Yeah, he definitely seems like a unit that has room to improve in the future when, like you said, some of those units get easy A's or they bring out newer units like a new Bulma. Like the fact that we don't have like a proper Bulma card, even if it's like just a support for Vegeta family or something like that. Those are the sort of things that we can get in the future that could definitely make him a little bit better. So, be interesting to see how they improve his condition in the future with some of these other cards, because I'm a huge fan of that STR Vegeta and Bulma card. It's unfortunate that they went the way they did, making it the card itself like Vegeta and Bulma, because obviously that restricted it a little bit. And yeah, that is a card that definitely with an easy A could be very, very powerful once again. So we shall have to see, I suppose. But in terms of JP stuff, the last thing we have to talk about here is everybody's favorite mode, the explosive chain battle against the second form Cell. And so literally in my notes, I put, so how horrible is it? Because, you know, it's never good. I didn't want to say how good is it. So for this one, you need to use Attained Evolution, Vegeta's Family, and Androids as the specified categories. So, Jay, we memed you pretty hard last time on your friend setup for the global chain battle. How are you finding this new one on JP?
It's much more friendlier for me. I had a good time. I mean, I hit top 10%, and that just means a good time for me. So I'm okay with it.
Okay, well, top 10%, I guess. Not bad. Free to play. Why not? We will take those. So, Minato, what's this one been like for you, and what are the quality of the friend lists that you're finding? Because that's always the big sticking point for these ones. It doesn't matter how good your account is. It only matters on who you can find to actually use. So what's your experience been like so far?
I would actually say this chain battle is better than many other chain battles that we've been having recently. The reason why is because a lot of the special characters are very old units that people tend to have nowadays. For example, Tech Super Saiyan Vegeta, Physical Super Saiyan Vegeta, the Super Trunkses, AGL Super Vegeta, the meme, the God. A lot of units like that are units that are required, if not just straight up free-to-play units. So it's been very simple, for another free-to-play unit, the Int LR Prime Battle Vegeta. So it's been pretty easy to find good setups that would at least get you the, I don't know if it's 1 billion or 100 million points in the chain battle, which is really how you get most of the rewards anyways. Like even Jphanta right there, he got top 10%, and he's free to play, just relying on the actual friends list itself.
Yep.
I feel like it's been more lenient this time in chain battle compared to other ones where you need very, very specific setups. Though this one, for sure, you want to try and get as many Trunkses as possible, and you would prefer Vegeta Extreme Class over the Androids.
That's one of the things that always confuses me about, well, I say always because some of the chain battles haven't been as bad, but yeah, the fact that the extreme special category is Androids, but then you're saying that that's not necessarily the best one to use, so just yet another reason why this mode is so confusing. So
yeah, I think it's because there's more special character Vegeta family units, and they kind of link better overall, share more categories. That's probably the biggest reason why. Higher stats too.
Well, chain battle stays being chain battle. You can get some good rewards out of it as long as you can hit the higher percentages. Got to keep an eye out for those good friend units. But yeah, so that was the list of things that we had to talk about for JP. Now, obviously, moving over to global, where we are having a whale of a celebration right now. So the Videl celebration blew everyone's socks off with this sheer amount of content. There's still far too much to do. So I think we got, for this celebration, we got a new Dokkan event, and we got an Extreme Z area with 2 stages. So
whoa.
No, wait, no, crazy. Actually, whoa, hey, wait, hang on. We got one new stage for the Videl Learning to Fly story event? So
yes.
It's like
support memory?
I can't remember. With a support memory. So, in fact, I should have got the details for the support memory up here. I don't know if someone else has got it up, but from what I could tell from looking at it, I obviously went through and unlocked it because it was, part of one of the celebration missions to actually do so. But if I remember rightly from checking on what it does, it's terrible, and I can't imagine that I would ever use it. So,
I would disagree.
all right. Well, let me get it up here then.
Majin-
Let me, you tell what does it do? Tell us.
It gives Majin Buu Saga category allies Key 2 for the first 2 turns from start of battle. So I think that's pretty good for units like Videl herself who struggle with Ki.
True.
It's like Ultimate Gohan who still, even though the link level updates is there, helps him. He's a lot better with his Ki now. You know, it could definitely help him link with someone like Angel, Super Saiyan 2 Vegeta or something like that. Especially with TURs, and makes your team more consistent for the first 2 turns. And with units like Tech Ultimate Gohan who build up Ki. So I think it's a pretty solid support memory, especially since it's a Majin Buu Saga. I'm sure you all know how good that team is.
Is that all it does? Is 2 key?
Yeah,
Yes.
that's all it does.
And it's on to just for turn 1.
No, it's for 2
For
turns.
2 turns.
Turn 1 and
2
2.
turns.
Which in
Ooh.
Super Battle Road, it's very important, I would
Yeah,
say.
so I guess Super Battle Road, I was thinking about it with some of the other support memories. It's very interesting how the support memories really differ in their power level. And obviously that's kind of reflected by how many film reels they cost to use. But like, you think about something like the Xeno one, which obviously is the best one, gives you a pretty decent buff for the entire fight. And then you've got something like the Icarus one, which is probably one of the ones I see people use the most in some of the harder content, which only gives you a buff for 1 turn. And it is a little bit unfortunate in the sense that, especially using it in, say, the GT Legendary Goku event, if you're unfortunate and you take a super attack on the wrong unit on like the 2nd turn, then it's going to activate on turn 3, which is not really where you want it. And so I think a lot of these ones, like the Videl one, they're kind of designed only really to be used in things like Super Battle Road, where you're probably only going to be going for like 3 turns anyway. So having some extra Ki for the first 2 turns is definitely useful. Whereas obviously in a longer form event where the first few stages are the easier ones, you're probably never going to use those particular support memories. But obviously the main part, I guess I should say, of the celebration is the release of Videl herself on Global. Obviously, when she came out on JP, she caused quite a stir in the community, with a lot of people claiming that she was the best TUR in the game. A lot of people disagree. Some people cite, some of the issues with her, such as not having great key links, not being on a lot of teams. And then obviously some people just don't like the fact that it was Videl that got a Dokkan Fest. So before I give my own thoughts, now that she's been out on JP for a while, now that she's out on Global, what do you guys think in terms of Videl? Where does she stack up in the list of TURs? Jay, I'm sure as an expert of Dokkan Fest exclusives that you are, and also a big fan of Videl, what are your thoughts? Because I'm sure by this point you will have tried out various different free-to-play versions of the Defenders of Justice and Pepe Gal's team. So what are your thoughts on STR Videl?
She is great, but I don't personally think she is the best at this point in time. Nah. Even on Global, she's not the best.
No, she's not.
Nah.
Nope.
Well, it's a resounding no, so...
Yeah, I guess
Oh.
you guys can tell them why.
I think when Videl came out, there was a very strong argument for her being the best. I just personally feel like the GT Super Saiyans and Super Vegeta are both just more useful, better units overall.
Yeah.
Though you can't underestimate Videl either. She's probably still very strong as a number 4 or 5 spot in terms of TURs, if people would like to rank them that way. She's very powerful everywhere, basically, she can be running a lot of setups still, even though she only has 4 teams, which does definitely hurt her a lot. I've seen people clear all 10 or 12 stages of the God event with her, so I mean, she's good. She's worth it if you want to really summon for her, but I wouldn't recommend it outside of discounts.
I would say me personally, Videl, it's a top 10 because she lacks links. You're not gonna run her again along with Vegito, and all these Saiyan units that do not link with Videl at all. She's gonna be struggling a lot of Ki for sure. Her best team is gonna be in Pepe Gals and Defender of Justice. It's just that her categories are okay, Pepe Gal's got a giant buff, which is really nice. but I don't think they're like top tier. Maybe like I'll say like top 20 or top 10. Probably like top 20 for me. But they still need a lot of more units in that category to become like really, really good. Defender of Justice. I looked at it just recently, and the only thing it has is Tech Ultimate Gohan, Videl, the High School Gohan, the Topo, and the Jiren. That's all I see for now that are like that is going to be really good.
UZA.
Oh yeah, and that too as well. It's
and
just
an amazing free-to-play cast.
Yeah, it's just I'm not impressed with that category, and it just maybe like once we get to the moral arc, we're gonna have a UI Goku potentially in that category. That's gonna be really good.
Yeah.
But like right now at the moment, it's not that great. It needs improvements, and it's Videl, of course, her passive is just like insane. It's broken. And that's why like they made her like so good, just because people's like, oh, that she has the chance to do a super attack because Vegito has it. It's like the year 5th Vegito, like it has that effect, and she has effective against all types. She has if she gets hit, she actually gets more attack, and she has a dodging as well. She has everything. She's
making it sound like she's number one.
No. No. I'm not saying she's number
reasons
one.
After reasons.
Like I would say
sure,
passive wise, maybe.
Like her passive is where she is like number one, but synergy, team categories, leader skill, I don't think she's not like number one. I think she's like top 10, but with passive, she's definitely looking like the number one best tier in the game. But for me personally, I just don't like her leader skills and everything. Like she's not gonna work with many other teams. The only team that'll run her in with is just like the Majin Buu Saga. Like that's about it.
Yeah, I think it's one of those things
Earthlings?
where if like a Super Saiyan card, that so obviously links like Saiyan Lineage, Golden Warrior, Prepared for Battle. If a Super Saiyan card had her passive, then I think you'd probably have more of a consensus on that being one of the best TUR cards. But yeah, the fact that she is so limited, I do think her category is quite fun. She's definitely helped out by the fact that the Tech Gohan is on there, and running the two of them together is actually a fairly solid rotation. But yeah, I have to say, for me personally, I did tweet this out the other day after using her for the first couple of videos. Obviously, the first day of actually owning her after pulling her on the banner. She definitely didn't seem as impressive to me at 55% as the two GT Super Saiyans, because I have all three of them at 55%. And I feel like with those two, every now and then those units come along and you use them for the first time and you take them into like even just the first couple events, and it's like, wow, this unit is insanely good. And like those two, the GT Super Saiyans definitely had much more of that kind of effect on me than Videl. I definitely think she's very good. I do think her passive, because she does have a lot of things available to her, but it also makes her, I don't want to say complicated, but it's like tricky to use, because to get the full potential out of her, you need to have at least 2 attacks in slot 1. And then she has to dodge one of them and be hit by one of them. And so obviously, if you get into one of those situations where like there's no attacks in slot 1, then she's still pretty good. Like having a guaranteed additional super in slot 1 or 2, especially with a unit that is infinitely stacking attack and raising their own defense, it's obviously very good, but you're not going to see the kind of crazy numbers out of her that people will use to argue that she's the best TUR in a lot of situations, because you really need her to have that very specific setup. And then she does look very good, but like we said, she's on limited teams. One of her best category teams is, of course, not, her own one for double leads, of course, but is the Majin Buu Saga, which, I mean, there's so much competition on that team for units that you can run. So I definitely feel like she is in a bit of a weird place. In terms of her banner is obviously very solid. Is the return of Bojack to Global for the first time. So a lot of people have been talking about whether he's worth picking up with coins. I said the same, I made a video about it, but I think it's worth possibly holding off if you don't have the GT Super Saiyan, since they should probably return on the Worldwide Celebration. But her banner is good, and we got discount steps. We got the 3 discounted multis, so it costs you 100 stones for the first 3 multis, rather than obviously 100 stones just getting you 2. And the third and final step is a guaranteed featured SSR. So obviously there are quite a few people out there who just dipped in for the discounted steps and will have managed to pull Videl. And I think that if you do decide to do them, if you can spare 100 stones before the worldwide celebration, the discounted steps are good to do. But I think once you've done them, I don't really think that Videl is worth chasing. Has she returned on a banner on JP yet?
No, but she probably will be the next banner after Worldwide Celebration and JP.
So, I mean, if she's a unit that you really want, maybe, potentially, she would be worth getting with coins in the future if you don't pull her off of the banner that she returns on. But, yeah, I think with the Worldwide Celebration round the corner, if you do the discounts, I do think they're worth it. But, yeah, after that, you probably want to ease off a little bit. And so, of course, the other unit on her banner, which, unfortunately, I did not pull, but I'm resisting going back in because... I need to actually take my own advice for a change and say for Worldwide Celebration. But the Tech Goten. So I think it's interesting that he released as the side banner unit on this banner, because obviously recently we've been seeing them release these side banner units that are support for the new category, or at least one of the new teams that the unit that's actually the main banner unit is leading, whereas obviously this Goten is a Gifted Warriors support unit. So of course his best place to be used is on the physical Goten and Trunks team. So yeah, what do you guys think of this Tech Goten?
Well, firstly, Videl clearly doesn't need help. She's the best unit in the game. But seriously, considering the Goten, I think he's good. He's a very solid unit overall. He doesn't really do much. I mean, he just kind of like, oh, he's there, support unit, builds up attack and defense a little. That's fine. I think they could have just made him raise defense on super attack, because nowadays is like every unit nowadays like raises defense on super attack for like 1 turn. So like, for example, I was talking earlier with Majin Vegeta, but units that don't do that, you can kind of feel like a little bit of the, where you're like, okay, they probably should have that to be a little better defensively for nowadays standards. But outside of that, I think he's a solid unit. He's a fine unit. Nothing really special about him, though.
Yeah, he seems like a fun unit. Like, I did want to get him because he definitely seems like he's going to be super, super good on that Goten and Trunks team. Although, of course, the other thing to bear in mind for Global is the fact that we don't have the same name update yet. So, he would be the only Super Saiyan Goten you could run on that team for the time being. But like we were talking about right at the start with the new Peppy Gals on JP from that double rates banner, he obviously goes into the general pool. So if you're somebody who is, as most people should be, I guess, saving up your stones so you can go crazy on the download celebration, there is obviously the potential chance that you're going to pull him from those banners as well. So he does seem like a solid unit, but yeah, I'll definitely wait and see when he comes along. But
I mean, I use this Goten along with the physical Trunks and Goten card. This card actually buffs that card a lot, and I love it. Like, remember correctly, I was just messing around with the Gifted Warriors, and the Dokkan Fest Goten and Trunks. They did like 7 million attack stat, probably like 8 million attack stat if I had like everything procced up for him. So he's like a really good. So this Goten here is like the best partner for him for sure. And like he's a support for the Gifted Warriors. Well, this guy is buffing up the LR Agl Majin Vegeta because he's in Gifted Warriors. So this guy is gonna play a lot of roles in the near future for sure. Definitely gonna be like one of like the underrated units in the near future. But I actually love this guy a lot because he's another Hybrid Saiyans unit. There you go, more buffs, right? More buffs.
My favorite team in the game. Hell yeah.
So if they drop any more Hybrid Saiyans, I'm going to love them all.
Oh, well, there you go. So the banner is good. Most of the units on the banner are good. I mean, I got my Videl on step 2, and then for my guaranteed featured, I got Tech Trunks, who I most certainly did not need. But also shout out to Saito, who I'm not sure if he has actually pulled a copy of Videl yet, but has not only rainbowed Bojack, but pulled like 5 extra copies of him. So imagine that on the first return of a unit. But
chain battle. There we go.
It is how well, yeah, true. I'm sure there'll be a future one where he could be useful. So obviously, it wasn't just the banner itself. We also got the update to the Extreme Z area for the Majin Buu saga, which added the 2 new stages for the Int Gohan that transforms on turn 1 into the Great Saiyaman, as well as the AGL Yamu and Spopovich. So Jphanta, obviously, I'm sure you've used them quite a lot on JP since they've been out there for a lot longer. What are your overall thoughts on these 2 new EZA free-to-play units?
Great Saiyaman is goated, okay? In the
Love to see it.
Defenders of Justice, he destroys, okay? Versus any extreme, Ultimate Clash, very useful. Yamu and Spopovich, meh. I think
nah.
they're meh. They were, when they released, they were meh. So yeah, it's just that in terms of getting like peak performance, it does take them a while. I think that's the big issue there.
I like them better than Saiyaman.
What?
Really? Now?
You don't
What?
even use them.
What do you mean I don't use them? Just because they're free to play doesn't mean I don't use them. What are you talking about?
Minato,
Go on.
defend you. Come on, defend yourself. Yep. Explain.
Defend yourself.
I like the debuff and healing that the Yamu Spopovich do. I think when they're fully built up, they definitely look a lot more impressive. They have okay links for villains. I would say the Gohan is right there though too. The Gohan is definitely very good. He just has to be facing a certain extreme class enemy. While Yamu and Spopovich are
not
good
a
just
certain.
no matter
He
what
just has
enemy.
to verse an extreme enemy.
Yeah,
and then,
it's still technically a certain
and then
enemy.
he still gets if you link him up with a youth, or not the link, but if he has a youth or a Peppy Girls, Videl obviously is going to be your friend leader. That's damage reduction upon damage reduction. What are you talking about? We love damage reduction around here.
Doesn't he seal himself? Oh no, never mind. That's when.
No, that's old him.
Okay, I see. But yeah, my bad. Essentially, what's happening is I would say, I just facing a certain facing an extreme class enemy is nice. You know, there's definitely a lot of extreme class enemies that he faces in those difficult content. I like the kind of general, like just against every single enemy in the game, not necessarily restricted to a certain type of enemy. Though that doesn't make him bad or anything. Obviously, he's still like right under there. I feel like they're pretty much. I like the Yamu Spopovich myself more, but they're pretty much like neck and neck. So yeah.
I think the problem is, I kind of mentioned it a little bit with that Tech Goten, is the fact that for global we don't have the same name update yet, and obviously for someone who is not free to play, as I already mentioned, the Tech Gohan is on Videl's team, and so whilst obviously on paper, like obviously I've fully easy-A'd him already, I've read his passive and what he does, and that Int Saiyaman definitely seems like he's very good, but it's just unfortunate that because he starts off as Gohan and then immediately transforms, it means I can't use him on the same team until we get the same name update as the Tech Gohan. So unfortunately.
Yeah, another annoying thing I want to say about him being Gohan teen at the front is that you have to like level 2 different sets of unit links.
That's a you problem. That's a you problem.
That's annoying.
Okay, so yeah, that is actually, I was going to mention that as well. That is incredibly annoying, yeah, because like link leveling sometimes is fine, and then sometimes it just treats you real bad. And the one thing you really don't want is, imagine when you get to the point where like every link is at 9 and you're waiting for those final ones to go to 10, and then you finally get a link to proc at level 10, and it's one of the ones that he has on turn 1 that he loses immediately. So it's that's the only downside to those kind of cards, because obviously we all sort of I guess celebrated is kind of the right word. We all celebrated the release of that design of card in the past, because it was a thing they could use to get around the fact that we couldn't use cards of the same name. Whereas obviously now that update is on JP and coming to global, we don't really need to worry about that anymore. And it definitely affects the link leveling process.
I would say it actually still is helpful, because now you could run, for example, this Gohan with Tech Ultimate Gohan But since he instantly transforms, he could actually still link with the Tag Ultimate Gohan, because even though you can run same name units on the same team, they can't link together. However, now since it's a different name and a transformation, they actually will be able to link, if that makes sense. So I still think turn 1 transformation units are useful.
I think they can be, especially like for interesting themes. Like I like the idea of it just being a Gohan that immediately transforms. But yeah, one thing I was quite surprised actually, because I wanted to do a test run of an event and I took him instead of the Tech Gohan, only to find that when he transforms into the Saiyaman, he shares 0 links with Videl. So in that same case, it's definitely better to use the Tech Gohan. So there you go. The 2 free-to-play units got their easy A's. So as a final little short topic here before we go off to the break and then field a bunch of questions from you guys in the chat, there is, of course, the 350 million download celebration, as we now know it's going to be called. Judging by the dates of everything last year, we're about a week away from the countdown celebration, if they do one again, which I assume they will. We're only about a week away from that starting, and so 2 weeks away from the anniversary, the download celebration itself actually starting. So one of the notes that I made here is that a lot of people complained about the worldwide celebration last year not having a lot of content. And when I looked it up earlier, I think that's because the countdown celebration, they released a bunch of stuff. Like they brought out the new Infinite Dragon Ball History stage. I think that's when the Chain Battle came out. I can't remember, but they brought out loads of stuff before the actual celebration started. And then when the celebration came out, it was kind of just the banners and then the events for the new units, and that was kind of it. So do you think that they will potentially learn from that mistake this time around? Do you think we'll see the same kind of thing again? What do you think in terms of the countdown celebration?
And I think we'll see something similar to how it was during the anniversary. Because the anniversary is also the second. I think it was the second celebration that we actually had, like a big one where it's 3 parts. Besides the 5th, I think was the 5th year anniversary 3 parts. I forgot.
I think so.
Or was the worldwide even 2 parts? Whatever it is. I think that they're going to make sure it's all the actual celebration itself rather than the countdown, or at least have enough content to supplement it. I think the countdown itself will actually start in about 5 days from now. The 19th is when I expect for it to start, but it could be anywhere from there. Probably see some Twitter stuff on like the 17th, and along with that, V-Jump is soon as well.
So there's definitely a lot. The major thing, of course, is the fact that we still have no idea what the theme of the celebration is going to be. I mean, I say no idea. There's actually lots of ideas that are floating around at the moment. Lots of people posting various, like, quote unquote, evidence, and then other people immediately replying with something that seems to debunk that. So one thing I will say about it, because we could speculate all day long about what it's actually going to be, but I do actually think in a weird way, this kind of makes it a lot more interesting and more exciting, because the whole community is talking about it, because we don't know what it's going to be. Some people think it's going to be one thing. Some people really don't want it to be that thing and think it's going to be something else. So it's something that has got everybody talking at the moment. So rather than, speculating for ages, if you just had to give a very short, answer to this question, if you could pick what the theme of the download celebration was going to be, what would you pick? So Jay, what would you pick?
I would pick Saiyan Saga or Namek Saga, one of those two.
Definitely need a bit more representation. Minato?
Buu Saga. Just kidding. I would pick Namek.
I was like, what?
I would pick Namek Saga, but we all know it's Cell Saga. So, but yeah, Namek Saga is what I would pick.
And then Kensei.
And Goku.
The Battle of Gods. I want a Dokkan Fest. God, that's what I want. That's all I want.
Not another Battle of Gods Beerus. Give me Hakai Beerus, please.
I mean, they could do that. I mean, they don't have to do it from that, but it's like,
it would be weird.
If they're going to do Beerus, like, it has to be from that movie, pretty much, doing like the his little spear mode for move attack. So it's like,
yeah.
People are not going to be excited about it, but for me personally, I'll be excited for a Godku. That's all I care about,
too.
honestly.
Yeah, we talked about it on here many times before, but I'm desperate to have a some form of God Goku, whether it's Super Saiyan to God or God that powers down to Super Saiyan or whatever, that has the I will not let you destroy my world as an active skill, so it's voiced. That would just be
good.
So good. For me, I definitely kind of want to see that as well. Also, earlier in the year, everyone was, I can't even remember where that originally came from, but earlier in the year, we all thought it was leaning towards GT. Whilst I am not particularly a fan of GT outside of the Super Saiyan 4 form and Super 17, I'm still really hyped for the eventual release of a Super Saiyan 4 Goku and Vegeta that fuse into Gogeta. So I definitely wouldn't mind if it was GT, but I'd be quite interested in that Battle of Gods one just to get that Goku. So be interesting to see what it is going to be when we finally get the teaser, because obviously last year they tweeted out that image of the Boo egg or cocoon, whatever you want to call it. So we knew it was going to be Boo Saga. Basically, until they do that again this year, we don't really know for sure what it's going to be. So all we can really do is speculate.
A time machine.
I would
imagine a time machine picture. Oh, it's Android Saw Saga. I'd be like,
Imagine
no!
Imagine it's the cell egg next to the time machine. You already know.
People are gonna get pissed.
I think last year that egg was shown on the 17th, right? So
I think so, yeah.
Not too far away.
There you go. Could be very soon. So, but yeah, so with that, we are going to go away for a short break. If you guys want to leave some questions in the chat, we will come back after the intermission, pick out a couple of those to answer, and then that will be it for this week's episode. So leave your questions in the chat, and we will see you again very shortly. Okay, so we are back from the break here. Gonna have a quick scan through and we're gonna answer a couple of your questions. So the first one that I see here is, what unit of the first generation of category leaders from Super Saiyan 4 till Android 17 we're most excited for and why? I'm assuming you mean easy A's for them. So yeah, Minato, which one are you excited for?
MVP 17. 3 key 100% defense to everyone. Just screw it. Make them broken. Make them dumb. Exactly, Dondre. MVP 17. We need that easy A ASAP. Either him or Ssr Ultimate Gohan. But MVP 17 ASAP, dude. What a goated unit. Still good to this day. Okay, that's all I have to say.
Yeah, he's on so many good teams because he's obviously, a big one for Reps of Universe 7, obviously androids, but he's also on Goku's category, like AGL UI Goku, because of having the Reps of Universe 7, which means that's a team where you can actually run and transform AGL LR Gohan. So yeah, I'm a big fan of MVP 17. Kensei, what about you?
Oh, you already know, man. Ssr Ultimate Gohan and Turles. But Gohan more, because, more Hybrid Saiyans buff for me. So that's all I care about, honestly.
So true. What an intellectual.
I mean, he does really need it, but I'm trying to think about everyone that came out between those two, because I don't know if he came out after or not, but I think Int Goku Black is like super high on that list because he's not very good, and like they definitely could make him insanely good. Like Future has not had buffs for a long time. So Jay, what about you?
I have no idea.
None. None.
Well, I mean, so in terms of, I guess you got to think of it from the perspective of when you're running a free-to-play team and you're bringing that unit as
what
a
is
friend
in between
leader.
though?
So, I mean, let's just go with any category leader rather than getting.
Just say Omega Shenron and you're good.
Nah, I'm not saying Omega Shenron. No.
Wait, are you not a big fan of the free-to-play Shadow Dragon Saga team?
No, I'm not. I'm
what about free-to-play Shadow Dragon / Extreme Physical?
Can you actually make a fully free-to-play Shadow Dragon Saga team?
Yeah, you can. I don't know.
Wow.
Look,
out of all those category leaders that you could bring as a friend to run a category team of your choice, and you can't think of one.
Yeah, I can't think of
one. All right, well, so Jphanta says Omega Shenron then.
Except Omega Shenron.
So
you could have said like Blue Evolution Vegeta.
There you go.
All right, so moving on, the next question we have. So this is kind of an interesting one because we did all pick one that we would like it to be. So JC Gamer 18 asks, which celebration do you not want to see for the 350 million downloads? So
Majin Buu Saga.
Majin Buu Saga.
I would almost say.
I mean, I want an LR Super Saiyan 3 Goku and LR Kid Buu, but you know, they've been shafting Kid Buu a lot, so it's like at this point they don't really care about him at all.
Oh, I do want to Ella Kid Buu. Yeah.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, I mean,
you know, with the battle. Go on.
I was just gonna say, like, we definitely do need that, but I would say one of the only main reasons why I wouldn't want it to be the Buu Saga is just because it was last year. So
Yeah, basically.
but yeah, go on, Minato.
You know, I would almost say with all these Battle of Gods theories that are very have a lot of stretches to them, I would say. No Battle of Gods. I don't want a new Battle of Gods Beerus at all. I would very much dislike it. I would rather just have a standalone God Goku Dokkan Fest, and then, you know, Easy LR Beerus and Whis during that celebration. Just not a new Beerus from Battle of Gods, please. Other than that, I actually don't want Cell Saga, but I think it's the most likely option.
Fair. I'm gonna give I gotta give a shout out to is this Plock Rock in the chat. We did ask for questions, and so he asks, I have to pick my free 5-star in FGO, which is that Fate Grand Order. Should I grab
Yes.
Yep.
Shnerzade or Ilya? So what do we think about that?
Ilya. Yeah.
I heard someone
one.
talk about Ilya before, so
I literally have no
I
idea.
guess I
So
can
yeah,
guess.
we'll go with that. So yeah, pick her and don't blame us if she's terrible because I literally have no idea what that is. So, but I appreciate.
Can I pick a
asking.
question?
Yeah, go
It
for
says,
it. Go for
on
it.
a scale of 1 to 10, how sexy is Jphanta?
Ooh, I mean, 11.
100%.
Wow. That wasn't an option, but I'll take it.
There you go. So, good question. All right. So, Min Shuriken says, which old Dokkan Fest EZAs, like from 2017, etc., do you think need a remaster or a refresh of an EZA? So, I don't
Super
necessarily
Saiyan 3
think that
Broly.
that's going to be something that will happen, but. Yeah, I was going to say no one is allowed to say Super Saiyan 3 Broly because that's the obvious answer for sure.
Oh, well, of course. Yeah, of
Boo.
course.
I just said him, man. Okay.
Well, that's the auto
think about
answer,
it.
but yeah, I
Come
think
on, be original. Come on.
AGL Kid Buu is pretty terrible.
Oh,
that would be a
yes.
good one.
Definitely. Yeah, he's terrible.
What if they just like give physical Kid Buu like 120% attacking defense? That'd be pretty
yeah,
good.
true.
Like healing. Like he doesn't need it, but he would be. Well, he kind of does need it because he just gets destroyed. But like,
Yeah.
imagine that and the 50% support. I think that'd be good.
in LR Gohan. There you go.
Ooh.
Oh, yeah,
That
true.
is-
But yeah,
true.
I mean, unfortunately, it's not something that I don't think we will ever see. It's just kind of the same thing as before EZAs were even a thing. It's just the fact that the older ones are obviously going to drop off eventually. So EZA was a nice thing for them to release to bring those units back a little bit, but I don't think they can just keep recycling that same process over and over again. So it'd be interesting to see, but I don't think it's something that will ever happen. But to wrap us up here for the final question, Lightning God Eric says, which character that isn't really represented do you want to have a Dokkan Fest exclusive?
God Goku. That's
Namek
it.
Goku. Namek
Goku.
Super Saiyan shirtless Goku that destroys Frieza.
Wait, why
Please.
shirtless?
Well, that's how he was. He was shirtless. Although, you know,
Are you two shirtless men now? Come on.
Hey, don't question
Nuts.
Minato's taste.
yeah, maybe I like buff Super Saiyan Goku like that. You know, how do you know? He looks awesome. He's so cool. He will destroy everything. He will be the best unit in the game easily. 100% counter chance. Whatever. We need him. How do we not have a shirtless Namek Super Saiyan Goku Dokkan Fest LR in almost 7 years? That is disrespectful.
He's been talking about shirtless Goku for a long time.
Anyways, that's all I have
Hey,
to say.
this is the Dragon Ball fandom. We can't make fun of each other for liking big buff men. That kind of comes with the
True, fair enough, fair
territory a
enough.
little bit. But
fair
Kensei, what about you?
Yeah, I got Goku. That's all I care about right now.
Yeah, the fact that he doesn't
fair
have a Dokkan Fest exclusive is kind of crazy. And what about you, Jay? I know you wouldn't be summoning for them, but who would you like us to get?
Kid Gohan again, but in the Namek saga.
Okay, I see. Interesting.
So
okay.
bowl
Yes,
cut
give me more
Gohan.
Hyper Saiyan's buff, please.
Yeah, I want bowl cut Gohan,
Nice.
pretty much.
I can't really think of one off the top of my head that isn't from Heroes, because most of the stuff I want is from Heroes. But give me
Say
some
Namek
sort
Goku,
of
then.
give me an actual Dokkan Fest exclusive Masked Ningen. There you go.
I
Trunks.
see.
Trunks. Or actually, how about Captain Ginyu?
Yeah,
Yeah,
to be
Captain Ginyu is
fair,
a really good
Ginyu is
choice.
definitely a good pick. There definitely are good picks out there for sure, but
Like Namek Goku.
like the shirtless Namek Goku. So because if it's
Yes,
not if he's not
shirtless Namek
shirtless,
Goku.
then I'm not interested. But there you go.
Yeah, no, we already have the one with the blue shirt as a Dokkan Fest. We don't need him. He's gonna get an easy A. We need shirtless Namek Goku.
I mean, you already have one. It's the STR one, right? You know.
Oh,
He's
yeah,
not-
wasn't it the
and he's
reward?
a-
He's not an
card,
LR. He's not an LR. He's not worth it. He has a terrible animation. Doesn't count. I can't believe he would bring up that trash.
All right. Well,
Shirtless.
on that
He
note,
doesn't
But he's
do the
shirtless,
worth.
though.
He needs good shirtless animations that are exactly like the anime. Star gets his glistening muscles. Okay.
Okay.
right. Well,
get
before we
you.
go too far down the shirtless rabbit hole, I think we will call that a day. We started off with the whole theme, episode 46. Put some pep in your step, all about peppy gals, and we ended up talking about shirtless men. So we went on quite a journey throughout this episode. I hope you all enjoyed it as much as I did. Big shout out to my guests for this week, Jphanta, Minato, and Kensei, and to all of you guys who tuned in as well. Make sure to stay plugged in to all of the 5-9 Gaming. Follow us on Twitter, follow the YouTube channel. If you came in late and missed any of the episode, obviously it will be uploaded on the YouTube channel tomorrow. So make sure you stay up to date with everything. And from all of us here, thanks for coming out, and we will see you same time next week. Peace out.